we've got a backflow preventer, which prevents water from coming from your sprinkler system into your household plumbing. And these freeze all the time when the weather gets really cold. It's just a plastic piece inside here that'll freeze, and then when it thaws out, it'll pop off with the water everywhere. It's just a big mess. What happened to me is I actually drained mine. You can drain it via these little plugs right here on the side. I actually drained mine, so I didn't have my backflow preventer break, but down here in this ball valve that connects it to the backflow preventer, you can see it actually froze and busted the side of that out. So I decided to come replace these, and I noticed that these are always hooked up pretty much just like this, where you've got a straight pipe to a threaded pipe that goes into your ball valve. That threads in your backflow preventer, and then you've got the same type of situation on the other side here. The problem with that is anytime you want to replace anything, there's no way to unscrew it. So I'm going to show you how to do this today, replace this in a way that in the future, if this breaks again, which it in all likelihood will during the next freeze, I'll be able to replace just the part that I want to replace without cutting pipes anywhere. And we're going to do that via two of these, which are called unions. And the great thing about a union, this glues onto one side, and it's got threads, and then on the inside here it's got a rubber O-ring. And the other side has this fitting that also glues on to the other side of the pipe. It's got a stop there, a little shoulder you can see, and then it's got the threaded piece right here. So once both sides are glued in, you just connect them and it screws together. So when we want to take this apart later to replace a single part and unscrew something, we can do it here and at the other side, and you'll be able to take that whole top piece off. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to want to do is I just turned the water off to the house, and now I am going to open this guy, and it's not easy to open. This thing is rusted and old. Part of the reason I'm replacing it. So I'm gonna, and you can watch the water bubble out of the side there because it is very, very broken. And let's let enough of the water pressure drain out. Another way you could do it, if your valve wasn't broken open like mine, is you can open one of these fittings in the back, and they've got a screwdriver. We'll just connect right to it, and you turn that 90 degrees, and it'll let the water spray out, but the pressure's already down enough, as you can see, that it'll all just continue to drain out there, and I'm not getting any out of these valves in the back. Let's see if I can open this one. Yeah, both open and no water's coming out. So we're getting all the draining we need from that side right there. Okay, now that all the water's drained out, I'm going to cut this side right about here, so I've got enough room to connect a new fitting. You really always want to leave as much as you can. And now that side's cut through. These PVC cutters are fantastic, much better than using a saw. And then here, I'm going to cut right down below this coupling that's on there right now. Right, now the whole piece is off. Okay, now that we've got this piece off, let's see if the actual backflow preventer is cracked. We'll take off this little covering bell up on top. Just 3 screws. And these things definitely seen better days, whether it's broken or not. So I see a small crack on this side. Not sure if it'll still hold or not. Doesn't look super promising. So I might have to replace this even after I put the whole system back together, but nonetheless, this is how the backflow works. It's just a one-way spring-loaded valve right here. And when the water comes in from this side, the valve gets pushed up and water is allowed to go out into your sprinkler system. But if it tries to come in from the other side, that's this side over here, then this thing shunts down and blocks the flow of water. And that's really all it does. But for some reason, it's made out of plastic up here. So it's break really easily and often need to be replaced. But now that we've got this piece off, we can unscrew all these different fittings and replace them with brand new brass valves. Okay, so here's the new pipe segments cut to length with the new ball valves installed. And you can see the unions we've got right here and right there, which will allow at any point, you can just unscrew this piece. And even when you have the backflow preventer in here, you'll be able to unscrew this side too. And the whole thing will lift off, and that way you can unscrew individual ball valves or take off your backflow preventer without cutting anything. So it makes this really simple to maintain or access later on. And now we will go ahead and put in the backflow preventer. Take both of these off, screw the backflow preventer in, glue everything up, put it back down, and seal those unions up, and we'll be good to go. Turn the water back on. Remember your pipe sealant for the metal-to-metal threads. All right, I saved you the part where we just glued a bunch of pieces together. Hopefully, if you're watching this video, you already know how to glue PVC together. Here's the finished new piece with the unions on both sides. The male end of the union is connected to both sides coming out of the ground. And now you can just stick this piece up on top. Thread that on. Thread that on. Cinch them down. And it's finished. So now if you ever have a break in one of these, this ball valve or this one, or the backflow preventer itself, you can simply unscrew these unions, pull the whole assembly off, unthread just the piece that is broken or is a problem, and put it all right back together without making any cuts in your pipe at all. These unions are about $3 a piece, so an extra $6 that plumbers just don't want to spend, but it makes it a lot easier for homeowners to service the equipment that regularly breaks around the house. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and talk to you later.